The deaths of 4 asylum seekers in the Channel didn't stop Talk TV host Julia Hartley Brewer going on this incredible rant.
Do you think with this tragic incident, I'll go again, people will say these are desperate people. You're in France. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say this. You're in France. You're not in war-torn Syria. You're not in Ukraine. You're not being bombed. You're in France, okay? You're not desperate at that point. You really are not. The fact that you happen to know someone who lives in Leeds, so you want to go to England, well, tough. Putting yourself in there, I mean, I first of all blame those people themselves getting in those boats. When you see people, you see children dying, and migrants are putting their children into that sort of risk. If you did that in this country, you'd be prosecuted for endangering your child's life. These people are victims in that way. But the point at which this happens, I don't want anyone to die in these situations, but the people traffickers, they don't care.
Of course not. They make money either way because the money's already been paid up front. That's how it works. How do you deal with it? I know that a lot of people will use this. This will be used, as it often is, as an excuse to say, well, we need to let people in. We need to fast track the system by approving them. That's what, exactly, more safe routes. Everybody wants safe routes. But let's be honest, the safe routes need to be in the places, where they're coming from. Open them in Nairobi if they're fleeing from Somalia.
I don't want safe routes for 21-year-old car washers from Albania. I'm sorry, I don't. I really don't. You can call me whatever name you want, but I don't.
Yes, if getting on a small boat across a notoriously difficult passage in freezing temperatures doesn't prove that someone's desperate, I don't know what does. Aaron, what do you make of the argument that asylum seekers should feel safe in France and this strange fixation on Albania?
So this idea that people should stay in the first safe country they enter, it is generally speaking what people fleeing war, conflict, famine, etc. It's generally what political persecution or persecution in regards to personal rights and whatnot is generally what people do. So if you look at the countries with the largest number of refugees in them, Lebanon is up there, Iran is up there from people that are fleeing Afghanistan. Perhaps counterintuitively, given many people are also leaving Iran. If you look at, for instance, Colombia with regards to people displaced from Venezuela. So generally speaking, people do precisely that. But this idea that, well, if people are coming from West Asia or North Africa and they're coming into Europe, well, they should just stay in the first safe place they encounter. That could be, I guess, Greece or Turkey or Italy. Well, it just seems a really stupid way to carry on. The idea that Greece or Italy, for instance, in the context of runaway climate change, state breakdown, which, by the way, Western foreign policy has played a major role in, the idea that those countries would have to effectively home and care for tens of millions of people, I think is patently absurd. It would create political volatility literally within Europe. And clearly you want a sensible, rational way of distributing people with legitimate asylum claims, which is the vast majority of people on these boats across Europe. There's an equitable way of doing that. Right now, actually, for all the talk we get in the media, we aren't really pulling our weight regardless. The number of people that apply for refugee status in somewhere like Sweden per head is far higher than us. In Germany, not even per head, but in real terms, massively outstrips us. So this idea that Britain is a victim somehow when it comes to refugees is simply nonsense. So yes, we should be arguing for a sensible, rational, controlled way of allocating people refugee status within the European Union and, of course, the UK too. But the right, as ever, want a free-for-all, chaos, and something which actually isn't in any way manageable. And, of course, that helps people like Julia Hartley Brewer. They don't want a solution. They don't want to solve problems because they love problems. Problems give them clickbait. Problems give them opportunities to run their mouth on radio and TV and in newspapers. And that's what they thrive on, chaos and conflict. No. The left in this instance should be the voice of trying to solve the problem and actually saying we need a holistic structural solution to a problem which, by the way, over the course of the 21st century is only going to get worse. And if we care so deeply about people not having to leave their countries of origin, maybe we shouldn't invade them. Maybe we shouldn't subject them to horrific sanctions, which means that people can't access basic medicines. That's what we're doing right now in Iran. So when people leave those countries and try and come here, I think it's reasonable to say that the British media should be somewhat more sympathetic.
Not invading countries so people aren't forced to flee? What a radical idea.